everyone, this is Nitish and we have started an initiative called Plum Series, which is Prelims Level Up MCQ series. Here we discuss 5 MCQs daily and this will help you in your UPSC preparation. Today is episode number 102 and I am dealing with economics MCQ. Before starting this class, I would like you to please subscribe the channel and also like and comment on videos. These contents are free of cost, so for test season foundation video, you can contact to Vice Sir on WhatsApp 7200 681 675. So let's start. Today's MCQ number 1 is: consider the following statement with reference to National Sample Survey Office. Statement number 1 is: it was set up in 1991 to conduct only a small scale sample survey in India. Statement number 2 is: it was merged with Central Statistical Office to form National Statistical Office. So you have to tell the correct statement regarding National Sample Survey Office. Option A is 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So I will provide you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. So the correct option will be option number B, which means that statement number 2 is only correct statement regarding NSSO. Now let's look at the explanation. When the government passed the order for merging of NSSO and CSO, it didn't mention any role of National Statistical Office. This merger will lead to depriving the autonomy of NSSO as it will be a part of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So before explaining the solution, I want to inform you one thing, that whatever I am speaking to you, I try to put it in the content so that you can able to revise it properly. So now let's look at the statements. Statement number 1 is incorrect because National Sample Survey Office was set up in 1950, not in 1991. That's why the statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is correct because National Sample Survey Office is now merged with Central Statistical Office to form National Statistical Office, which is the statement number 2. That's why option number B, that is the statement number 2, is the correct answer. Now move on to MCQ number 2. With reference to Indian economy, what is full employment level of output? Statement number A is: it is the production level when all available resources are used efficiently. Statement number B: it represents the rate of unemployment that is consistent with a low, stable rate of price inflation. It represents only the amount of unemployment due to structural and frictional factor in the labor market. And last statement is: it is an estimate of an economy's active workforce in service sector only. So I will provide you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. Those who don't know about the full employment level of output, they can also guess from the term itself. So try to guess the answer and I will explain the solution later part. So its option will be A option is the correct statement, that is, it is the production level when all the available resources are used efficiently. That is the full employment level of output. Now let's look at the explanation why the statement number A is correct. The statement number A is correct because an economy's full employment output is the production level when all the available resources are used efficiently. That is the statement which I put in the that is the line which I put in the statement part. That is the option number A. It is equal to the highest level of production an economy can sustain for a long run. It is also referred to as full employment production, natural level of output, and long run aggregate supply. Now move on to MCQ number 3. Consider the following statement with reference to gross fixed capital formation. Statement number 1 is: it refers to net increase in physical assets. It is the component of expenditure approach for calculating GDP, that is gross domestic product. It represents the measure of total investment. So you have to tell the correct statement regarding gross fixed capital formation. So the options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, and 1, 2 and 3. I will provide you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So the correct option is option number A, that is 1 and 2, which means that statement number 1 and 2 are the correct statement regarding gross fixed capital formation. Now let's look at the explanation. Statement number 1 is correct because gross fixed capital formation refers to net increase in physical asset. That is the statement number 1, that it refers to net increase in physical asset. And adding an extra point in the same statement that it does not account for consumption, that is depreciation of fixed capital. So you should know this statement also. Statement number 2 is correct because it is the component of expenditure approach to calculating GDP, that is gross domestic product. In India, the share of gross fixed capital formation is far more as compared to that of increase in stocks. That is the statement number 2, that is the component of expenditure approach for calculating GDP. Statement number 3 is incorrect because gross fixed capital formation is not a measure of total investment. Here it is mentioned that it represents a measure of total investment, but it is not a measure of total investment because only the value of net additions to fixed asset is measured, and all kinds of financial asset as well as the stocks of inventories and other operating costs are excluded. That's why it is the incorrect statement. Now MCQ number 4. India currently has trading of gold using gold derivatives, gold ETFs, spot exchanges for physical trade in gold. So you have to tell the correct code. Option A is 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, and 1, 2 and 3. I will provide you 10 seconds, try to answer this question. You have tell that India currently has trading of gold using gold derivative, gold ETF, spot exchanges for physical trade in gold. So the correct answer is option number B, which means that India currently has trading of gold using gold derivative and gold ETF. So the solution is also very short, that India currently has trading only in gold derivative and gold ETF, unlike several other countries which have spot exchanges for the physical trade in gold. That's why the statement number B is option number B is the correct answer. Now the last MCQ of today's class. In India, microcredit is delivered through which of the following channels? Microfinance institution registered as NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, scheduled commercial bank including small finance bank, cooperative banks. So the options are 1 and 2 only, 1, 2 and 3, 2, 3 and 4, and all of the above, that is 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I will provide you 10 seconds, try to answer this question. So the correct option is D, that is all the 4 are correct. Now let's look at the explanation part, that is first of all we should know what is microfinance. Microfinance is basically a form of financial service which provides small loans and other financial services to poor and low income household. That you should know that these services are provided to poor and low income household. Microcredit is delivered through a variety of financial channels. First is scheduled commercial bank, including a small finance bank and regional rural banks, lending both directly as well as through business correspondents and self-help group. Number 2 is cooperative bank. Number 3 is non-banking financial companies, and number 4 is microfinance institution registered as NBFC as well as in other forms. So that's all for today. Next episode will be tomorrow. So please subscribe and stay tuned.